Before the formation of the Church of South India, St. Mark's Cathedral was known as St. Mark's Church. The church was built in 1808 on a large parcel of land. This piece of land was located at the cantonment entrance on the edge of the parade ground. The church was first constructed as a simple low building unlike the present-day structure. In the last years of the 1800s and early part of 1900s, portions of this plot would be allocated to two societies, Bible Society and Bangalore Literature and Scientific Institute, which became Bowring Institute. St. Mark's Church came into being when Bangalore Cantonment was being formed. This was at a time of regime change in South India after the defeat of Tipu Sultan. The church opened for worship in 1812. Due to the political turmoil at that time, the consecration of the church was delayed. Consecration of the church by letter was done in 1816 and formal consecration was completed in 1830. Charity boxes on Sunday to support the poor was introduced by a chaplain at St. Mark's Church. In 1831 was the first fundraising for St. Mark's Church. The proceeds of the fundraising was used to purchase an organ. An additional plan for enlarging the church and adding a belfry was proposed. Due to the cost involved, the enlargement plan was dropped. In the latter part of the 1800s, the then chaplain of the church raised another round of funds. These funds were used for extensive church repairs, refurbishment of the furniture and replacing the organ. Finally, in 1899, expansion of the church was approved, including increasing the height of the building and adding a bell tower. This was undertaken during the Great Plague of Bangalore. It was a general belief that the plague was carried by bad air and hence all buildings needed to have plenty of fresh air. The clear story windows in the church facilitated the passage of fresh air in the church. Roads such as South Parade, now MG Road, by the side of St. Mark's Church were widened to allow wind flow through the town. Funds were raised by the chaplain with the help of the congregation for enlargement of the church. Plague also affected the family of the chaplain, who lost his little daughter. A brass lectern which is used to this day was contributed by the Mysore Planters Association in memory of a couple of planters who had served as volunteers in the Boer War of South Africa and lost their lives in the conflict. The church tower, which was freshly constructed, collapsed and damaged the organ in 1902. Post the collapse of the church tower, the first consulting architect to the Government of India, who had earlier resided near St. Paul's Cathedral in London, visited the church ruins at the site. During the reconstruction of St. Mark's Church, instead of the collapsed tower, a dome like the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral in London was constructed. In 1923, during a robbery of the silver plate in the church, a fire started from a burning candle left in the vestry. This caused extensive damage and destroyed most of the interior of the church save the furniture such as the pews and lectern. During the fire, the pews and lectern were carried out of the church by the soldiers involved in the firefighting. Only ashes remained of the organ, baptismal font and pulpit. A St. Mark's Restoration Fund was set up, to which even the Mysore Dr and Yuvaraja contributed. The replacement organ was donated by the family of Colin Cowdrey, the great English cricketer. The new pulpit and baptismal font was constructed from Genoa marble by Snays Brothers. In times of great need for St. Mark's Cathedral through history, the congregation and well-wishers have contributed to the causes of St. Mark's Church and Cathedral. Now, in the present-day pandemic, there is a need for funds to ensure the basic operation of the church. The church looks to its congregation and well-wishers, as it did in the past, to sustain it through these times, until this too shall pass.